The Pit is one of Hypixel's craziest game modes. Hackers, exploiters, dupers, and cheaters find their home on this corner of Minecraft's biggest server. In the 4 years that the Pit has been around, the leaderboards are a constant reminder of who is at the top. Seeing your name up there requires more XP than the players around, and there have been plenty of illicit ways to expedite that process. This includes a recent method which granted 1 million XP per minute. My name is Sudi, and welcome as we explore the Pit's history of XP exploits. As a player gains XP on the Pit, they level up more and more, and once they reach 120, they can prestige only to start the process over again. Every level of every prestige is more difficult than the previous, requiring exponentially more and more XP to get to 120. Ever since the Pit's 0.2 update in March 2018, the best way to obtain XP was streaking. Streaking is where a player equips perks including Streaker to gain XP at the fastest rates. After reaching a kill streak of 80, kills gave more than 100 XP each, making this quite effective. However, the biggest risk with kill streaks comes from bounty hunters, who can be incredibly dangerous. With the best gear being full Protection 1 diamond armor, the bounty hunter perk struck fear in the hearts of would-be streakers who didn't want to lose their hard-earned items. Because of this, some people opted for a slower but less risky method. At Prestige 7, people can purchase the Recon perk from the Renown shop, which grants 40 XP every 4th arrow hit on a target. By building an obsidian box, players can shoot each other, healing with the vampire perk and gaining a couple thousand XP per hour. This wasn't very fast, but it could be done with only one other player in any lobby and required minimal time to set up. This was nerfed in the 0.3.8 Corals update, where Recon was changed so that players had to shoot more than one person, otherwise the enchant wouldn't activate. This definitely made it more difficult to utilize Recon to gain XP, but didn't make it impossible. A couple months before Recon's nerf, the 0.3.5 Mystic update totally changed the game. Using specific enchants like Sweaty and XP Boost, players could gain hundreds more XP per kill than what was previously possible. Other enchants like Perun 3, which dealt 3 hearts of lightning every 3rd hit, made streaking significantly quicker, not to mention Singularity, which made it impossible to die. Another enchant that was absolutely busted was Pit Blob, demonstrated when a famous cheater named Arms of Spaghetti scammed a pair of Pit Blob 3-pants. Blob spawns a slime that grows with each kill, and every size increase means more damage dealt. At the time, there was no limit to how large it could grow, so Arms went around with massive blobs, one hit killing anyone in its path. He AFK'd and spawned for hours and hours over the course of a couple days, getting thousands of kills, and was only stopped when the admin Connor Linfoot was forced to temporarily disable the enchant. In an XP method similar to Recon, an enchant named Healer gave the user and player hit a couple hearts every time they were attacked. Combined with combo XP, players could be hit infinitely in a slow but still effective method of getting levels for the early prestiges. In the 0.3.6 fishing patch of July 2018, an enchant called Unite was added to the game. Unite made it so players wouldn't take damage from other people who wore Aqua Pants. This meant that using any type of combo XP on a player with Aqua Pants while wearing Unite will gain XP every couple hits. Unlike with Healer though, the hits not only don't do any damage, they actually don't even register at all. This means that the XP enchant could be procced several times per second, whereas with Healer it was limited to how quickly the hits would register. The base rate for hit registration in vanilla Minecraft is about every half second, making Unite grinding much quicker and more effective than that. In fact, this was actually how Fishdupe gained many of his early prestiges. Unite grinding was patched in the 1.0 update. Speaking of fish, in vanilla Minecraft, every time a player catches one, they gain a little bit of XP. This is also true on the Pit. However, that XP doesn't contribute to your Pit level, meaning the status bar at the bottom and the Pit level on the right can sometimes mismatch. Consequently, players at level 120 who catch fish will actually go on to level 121. This isn't normally possible, as no XP can be gained after level 120. Hypothetically, this feature can be used to get levels way higher than normally conceivable. However, that would take a lot of fishing or another glitch. I'll get to that later. In the 1.0 update, new abilities called Mega Streaks were added to the game. Players who activate them are able to attain large amounts of rewards, with the downside of taking increased damage for every kill attained. One Mega Streak focused on XP called To the Moon will store every single piece of XP that the player gains while on the streak. When they eventually die, that XP will be multiplied by a certain number and then awarded to the player in a single package. At the outset of 1.0, the max multiplier was 3 times, meaning for every single piece of XP that a player attained while on the streak, they'd get triple that when they died. This was incredibly overpowered. Major Event was the first person to use it, as he started streaking right after the update dropped. In fact, Major was actually in a call with Minikloon as everyone was experiencing the new update, and he voiced his concerns about how overpowered this 3x multiplier was. Given this feedback, Minikloon reduced the Moon XP multiplier to 1 times, where it remains today. In early May, less than a month after the 1.0 update was dropped, a player named Iced7EQ discovered one of the most monumental exploits in the history of this game mode. In the new update, an item that could be unlocked at Prestige 7 in the item shop, named Tactical Insertion, allows a player to respawn anywhere they want in the map immediately after dying. Combined with a perk called Auto Buy, which automatically buys items as soon as someone dies, and a glitch that made it so Auto Buy didn't take away gold, meant that an account that placed tactical insertions could be killed immediately and would respawn in the same place with another tactical insertion. They could place the new tac again and again to be farmed forever. This was incredibly powerful. At the time, Uber Streaks were the best way to gain wealth, but the optimal strategy to complete them hadn't been determined. Even for top players, it would take 10 to 15 minutes to finish just one. This was especially risky because every 100 kills that Uber Streaks go on, there's another debuff that makes them more and more difficult. Even still, they were well worth it, as grinding the streaks grant a loot box which has the potential to give feathers, hidden jewel swords, and the new item gems, which can upgrade a non-rare mystic enchant. At the time, gems sold for $40 each in the IRL market, and that price dropped to about $20 and stayed stable for the next couple of months. Promising mystics could be upgraded into insanely overpowered ones by removing the gem tag. Items such as Billionaire 3, Lifesteal 3, Crazy Critically Funky Pants, and really anything that a player can think of were created this way. Items are supposed to only be able to be gemmed once, but the gem tag could be removed. Initially, this occurred if a player died with the item, however, that was quickly fixed by Minikloon. A couple weeks later though, the Pit Cops and other groups discovered that using Withercraft to repair lives caused the gem tag to be removed from a mystic. This, combined with the tactical insertion boosting, allowed some people to get very rich very fast. After tac boosting was found, some of the earliest players to use it were part of the pit group called Destroy. To avoid detection, Destroy members like Lethal Lemon Ubered all the way to 300 kills and then did the riskiest 100 off to the side, hidden away with tactical insertions. This reduced suspicion as most of the time the streakers looked legit because they were farming kills in mid. They soon learned that after killing the same player hundreds of times, the kills would stop giving rewards as a prevention for boosting. To avoid this, people brought in several alt accounts and swapped which account they were grinding on whenever they got reduced. There were a lot of questions about whether or not this was bannable. Botters were getting banned left and right, but is tac boosting any different? Someone had the brilliant idea of faking a screenshot from Minikloon, and that gave everyone the reassurance that they wouldn't be banned. In another DM though, Minikloon clarified that if you don't subscribe right now, you definitely will be banned. Soon, someone in Black Paladino's Discord used the replay mod to spot Destroy's illicit activities, and the gig was up. Suddenly, many more people began to use tactical insertion, and only Skillet became the second player to ever reach the max Prestige 35 level 120 by using it with To the Moon. He was able to gain incredible amounts of XP in a short period of time, as To the Moon's main drawback is the extra damage that other players do the higher the streak goes. That extra damage doesn't matter though if the people you're hitting aren't hitting back. Soon, the leaderboards were filled with people who maxed out with tacking. About a week or so later, someone discovered that the Hermit kill streak, normally associated with building, was actually better for grinding gold than Highlander. This was because there was no cap to the rewards that increase every 10 kills, so players could gain 2500 gold and 900 XP every kill after a 1600 streak. Trying to get some admin intervention, Black Paladino uploaded a video where he showcased attack boosting, and this only made things worse. Soon, everyone and their mama was at a corner of the map with a few alts facing their heads down. A couple notable groups who abused were the Pit Cops, Destroy, Utes, and some members of the Huntsmen. The Cops, for example, attack boosted a whole bunch with Creatune protecting them on a bee-hopping account, where he used a Trash Panda exploit to get invincibility and kill anyone who tried to bother the grinders. He did this on the Kazekage Guara account, which is an absolute legend. Here, Creatune is demonstrating his cheating prowess with a punch exploit. One time, while some of the cops were attacking, I invited famous Minecraft account Smidge to join us. The account was owned by Ochil, which is something I forgot to mention in the fish dupe video. He didn't bother the boosters, but took some screenshots and dipped. All the while, the cops had no idea who was on the account. Another time, the tac boosters were going at it when a guy joined while live streaming. He attempted to harass the boosters for over an hour while we watched his stream and mocked him in chat. Fun times. All that being said, on May 28th, Lucky Kessie joined the pit and banned a whole bunch of people in the Pit Cops tac party. The glitch was soon patched after that. The price of gems dropped because of all the supply, and the prevalence of god items skyrocketed. All this chaos in the market and in the game could have been avoided had this exploit been foreseen. Actually, it was foreseen by Dragon, a member of Conclave, on May 13th, way before everything blew up. He wrote the simple message, "I agree with auto buy on everything except tactical insertion, because you can just spam the same spot. Yikes." Tac boosting remains a seminal moment in pit history, as it totally changed the balance of power in the game, especially when it comes to all the new items now in circulation. Although XP was not the main allure of tac boosting, it nonetheless was effective for that as well. Similar to tactical insertions and discussed on this channel previously, botting is a method where players bring in dozens of accounts to be farmed endlessly. This gains tons of XP super quickly, and at its most effective, more than 1,000 kills per minute can be attained. Combined with mega streaks like To The Moon, botting is absolutely busted. To The Moon allowed Rage Pit to get from level 0 to 120 at Prestige 23 in 5 minutes. Level 87 is actually exactly halfway between level 0 and 120, meaning dying, or in Rage Pit's case, leaving the lobby, right at that moment is just enough to bring him to the max. In January 2020, Mathematics, Creatune, and I discovered a new exploit. If we placed lava in the sewers on Castle Map where a chest might spawn, and then the chest actually spawned there, it would get deleted when the lava timer ran out. When this happened, all of the items would drop on the ground, but if the chests were opened before it was deleted, everything in there turned into a zero item. Zero items are incredibly dangerous as they operate outside the normal Minecraft laws of physics. Zeros can be tossed out, go into the negatives, and cause a lot of damage, including potential duplication glitches if the conditions are right. A Hypixel patch prevented zero items from being dropped on the ground, but it didn't stop projectile items from being thrown. Because of this, an XP bottle obtained from the broken sewer chest can be thrown forever. As it's thrown out, it will go to negative 127, then revert to a stack of positive 127, go all the way down to 0, into the negatives again, and repeat infinitely. Similar to the fishing XP, picking up one of the orbs from this bottle doesn't add to one's pit level, but it does add to the Minecraft level above the hotbar. To demonstrate this, I went on my alt account, which is the only account in the entire pit that has one of these 0 XP bottles. Because of some shenanigans that went down in Skyblock, the method to create these zeros was patched server-wide, meaning no new ones can be brought into existence. In trying to reach level 500 on the pit for this video, the last 0 XP in my stash was deleted when I was kicked from the lobby. It reverted to a stack of 75 and then went to 64 when I tried to put it in my ender chest. Massive blunder on my part. At the end of 2021, a player named HX Pulsefire began to use a glitch with participation XP to gain levels far outside of what should have normally been possible. This was covered extensively in this video here, so I don't need to cover that content again. If you don't want to exploit an AFK glitch to become a top player just to have the chance at streaking, you can play on pitsandbox.io, the sponsor of today's video. After you join, get the top mystics and streak with the constantly full lobbies. Do/give prot to get armor, enchant mystics in the mystic well, and jump down to have some fun. The Discord link is in the description. Use code PITFALL for 10% off everything at store.harrys.network, and the first 10 people to use it will have an extra discount. What I do need to talk about though is recent events which have gone down, transpiring around a glitch that was discovered by Mathematics. I swear, this guy is the greatest glitch hunter in the entire pit. He found the critically rich Wolfpack exploit, the Volley Wolf exploit, the Zero Sewer items, and now this, the fastest method of gaining XP ever. On the 14th of August, just a couple of weeks ago, I was added to a group chat with Math, Moistrain, and HX Pulsefire. Math was concerned because he and Moistrain had been testing out a new XP glitch by equipping Recon, getting 2 ults with Dark Pants, a volley bow, and a complicated macro that spammed the ults and repeatedly broke the neck of the main account. Tons of XP were gathered. As Math and Moistrain were testing, they saw the arrows kept building and building more and more, giving higher and higher yields of XP. After the macro was optimized at its absolute fastest, 15,000 XP per second could be attained, or 54 million XP per hour. Math leveled up several people's accounts and gave the macro to Lloyd, who used it to gain nearly 100 million XP and go all the way from Prestige 37 to Prestige 40. Gold requirements for the prestiges was still an issue, so Mathematics and Moistrain opened up a shop where they grinded XP for people's accounts. After a couple of days, the glitch was reported and soon patched. Lloyd was banned for boosting, and the community was left wondering about the true potential of the exploit. At the maximum rate, ignoring gold requirements for prestiging, a brand new account would take just about 10 hours to pass the #1 pit player in XP using this glitch. That is absolutely wild. To reach the current max of Prestige 50 level 120, which takes 11.8 billion XP, could be done in only 9 days. Insane. Anyway, join the Pitfall Discord, and that way, if you've played this game for a long time and want to help me gather dates for the complete pit timeline, you can slide me a DM. That's gonna do it for today. My name is Sudi, and I'll see you guys next time.